Hi guys, today I'm doing a foundation review, which I'm very excited about. I've actually pre-ordered this like over a month ago, and it came late, which is annoying. But this is the new Covergirl Clean Fresh Skin Milk Foundation. It is described as a nourishing foundation with coconut milk and aloe extract. It's vegan and it's supposed to have a dewy finish. This came out, supposed to be on Amazon first, and I ordered it to come like the day it was released, but it was like a week behind, and then by the time I got it, I've already seen a couple reviews. Most notably, Emily Noel, she did a review and she wasn't the hugest fan. She was like, it's fine. So I'm a little like, ugh, bum. But let's get into some of the like details, the claims, things like that, shade range, all that. So there are 14 shades, but in my opinion, there are not enough light or deep. It's very mid-tone. I have the shade Fair Light 530. This is the third lightest shade. Look how dark it is. That's not, like, I'm not that pale. Like, I'm pale, but like, there's people way fairer than me, and like, this is the third lightest. What? That's so dark. Like, that's gonna be way too dark for me. Like, fair light you'd think is light. This is like tan. I just don't think the shade range is very good. I know it is a lightweight product, so like usually they can get away with fewer shades, like maybe 14 of something that's more of like a tinted moisturizer type product is okay, but only if you have like, you know, a good variety. I'm not impressed by that, and I already think I got this too dark. This is formulated without formaldehyde, phthalates, parabens, talc, or sulfates. It says it offers an all-day healthy glow for all skin types. It's light coverage with a dewy finish, but it does say on here that it's sheer buildable coverage, so we'll see about that. It's supposed to even skin tone, blur imperfections, and have an instant all-day hydration. I do have drier skin. I did do all my skincare with my oil and moisturizer and everything. I'm not going to use any primer because I just normally don't. I am going to use my hands with half my face and a damp sponge with the other half. This is a squeezy tube, 1 fluid ounce. I do love this kind of format. This is how the Ready Set Gorgeous was, and I used to love that foundation like way back in the day. But I do like that they're coming out with a vegan formula. They also had this line also has a cooling glow stick, which is a highlighter, and a cream blush in a squeezy tube. The highlighter is $11.99 and the cream blush is $11.99 as well. This was $13 actually. This was $13 on Amazon at the time of filming this, so it might be different now. But yeah, I didn't get the glow stick or the cream blush because I just didn't think, like, every time I try a cream blush from the drugstore, I'm not that impressed. And I didn't get the cool and glow stick because I have enough highlighting sticks. But Emily Noel did like that. She said there was one that didn't have any shimmer in it and it was more like a cooling primer. So that was kind of cool if you're interested in that. We're going to try this out. I already know it's going to be too dark, so I'm going to look crazy. My skin right now is not that bad. I do have this healing zit here. I have like a zit here, and then other than that, mostly just scarring and the bad under eye circles. So we are going to try this out now and just see what happens. It is not sealed, which is unfortunate. I thought maybe it would have like one of those little tin like things, but it doesn't. I'm going to put it on the back of my hand. It's runny. You see it's going down my hand, but very slowly, so it's like a normal liquid foundation texture. So let's try it with my fingers. First on this side. It's pretty dark, but maybe it'll be light coverage enough that it won't matter. You guys do know I prefer light coverage, something more dewy. It feels nice. It feels moisturizing. It feels silicone-y. It feels like a primer to me. Like it feels like a thin version of the Professional. The coverage really isn't that bad. It's more coverage, I'd say, than my Glossier Perfecting Skin Tint, which is my go-to. Actually, it's pretty good. It is a bit dark. I can see a difference. Can you? I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. So far, I like it. I'm going to do a little extra layers where I have more redness. I don't know, it said buildable, so I just want to see if it's actually buildable. It looks pretty good on camera. I'm not real close to my mirror though, so I will get closer and see if it looks like natural on my skin. From about a foot away, it looks pretty good. But a lot of things for me, because I do have drier skin, end up looking cakey or dry, especially in areas where I have scars. So it feels nice though. It doesn't feel like it's drying down too much, but it's not extra dewy either. As you can see, like, it looks natural, like a natural finish, but it's not dewy. I wouldn't describe this as dewy. It is clinging to these 2 scars I have. They're very fresh, so they're still very like disgustingly patchy. In here it's not too bad. I usually get a lot of dryness in here, but everywhere else, like around here, it looks so nice. Like my skin really looks good. Now I don't have much left, but I'm going to squeeze out a tiny bit more. I'm going to use my wet sponge for the other side and for this spot because it's very dry, and I think a wet sponge is usually a better option in my opinion when you have dryness. It kind of picks up any extra product that would cling. You can see the coverage with the sponge is obviously not as much as with your hands. I actually didn't mind applying it with my hands. Usually anything that's more than a tinted moisturizer, I use a sponge, just because I think it looks so much more natural and nice. But this side I didn't really mind with my hands, honestly. I do think it looks dewier on this side though, as you can see. I think you can see that, right? It looks dewier the side I'm using with a wet sponge. This thing is not going to be covered. It's just like a giant turd, so yeah. But that pretty much took off all the foundation from my hand. I'm going to look up real close to see if I need to build more. I probably do. If you're like a real quick person, this is totally cool to apply with your hands if you don't want to use a sponge or tools or anything like that. I like this look. It's more coverage, but it even feels less hydrating than this side just because using your hands is going to give you more coverage than a sponge. I'm going to go in with the sponge anywhere on both sides now just because now I know that I like it with a sponge. But I like everything, honestly, better with a sponge. I think it just looks so much more natural. It is still a bit dark for me. If I had fake tan on, I think it would look better, but like you can see my neck is still a bit lighter. But it's not like drastic, actually. It is light enough coverage that I could get away with this shade. And I'm going to take a little under my eyes. I don't want to get it too dry, but I do think the coverage is like way better than I expected it to be. I feel like, I don't know, the reviews I watched, people were like, there's no coverage. I'm getting coverage, but that might also just be because I'm used to even lighter coverage than this. So if you're like a tinted moisturizer person like me, this might actually be a good option if you want a teensy bit more coverage but just as natural of a look. I don't always powder, but usually kind of just in the T-zone I do, and sometimes I will use the powder from Glossier, but I have the Covergirl Advanced Radiance, so I'll probably use that. The only place it looks dry is just these two scars I have, because it's just like no matter what you put on them, they're gonna look dry. It actually looks really, really good. I'm really liking it. So let me just zoom in so you can see what it really looks like on my skin. It's not like settling into my lines on my forehead or in here, not yet anyway. I think this looks really good. I am going to do a little bit more of makeup and I'll see how like blush and stuff goes on top of it, and then I'll come back and I'll check in throughout the day, because right now I think it looks really, really good. I'm actually super impressed. Like honestly, it actually looks so natural that I think if I didn't do the rest of my makeup, it wouldn't look crazy. Like, you know, if you wear full coverage foundation and no other makeup, it kind of looks like masky. I don't think this looks like that. Like, I think this, like, if I just came on camera like this, you wouldn't even know I was wearing foundation. Other than the fact that it's a little bit too dark. But yeah, I'm gonna just do the rest of my makeup and I'll be back. Okay, so I just put the rest of my face on. I didn't do very much, but I use all cream products except for I did use that powder I mentioned before, just in like this T-zone area, and I think it looks good. Like, I don't think it looks like I have a bunch of makeup on. Only place where it's looking not my favorite is right here. I do have scarring here and I do get really dry right around my mouth, so I do think that that probably has something to do with it. And that even happens with some of my favorite products that I use all the time that I find very hydrating, so I'm not gonna like cut the foundation down because of this dry area here, but we will see how it wears because some things just don't wear very well. I think it looks really great. I don't think that it looks bad in any way. I do think it's like a smidge more than I would wear every day for coverage wise. I don't wear makeup every day, but like the days where I'm like wanting just to have a little bit of makeup on, I usually use something even lighter than this, but it's not full coverage by any means. This is definitely like a sheer to light. If you have great skin, you might consider it medium. The color definitely, like, as dark as it looks not as dark on my skin because it is so sheer. I do think that I still could have gone a shade lighter. I will zoom in so you can kind of see this area, what you think about it, and how the rest of my makeup went on. When I just zoomed in, you can see such a difference between my face and my neck now. Like, I'm wearing a turtleneck, but like it's too dark. Like, maybe I should be like this. Like, it's too dark for sure. I might actually want to return it for a lighter shade now. I think it looks good when I'm looking straight on, but as soon as you see my neck, it's like too dark. Not in like a crazy like line way, because I blended it, but like it's definitely darker. You know what I mean? So foundation on about an hour and a half ago, and I thought I would come back. I just did a little bit work, filmed another video, and I thought I would let you know how it's holding up. I think it looks pretty good. It's definitely, it's not breaking down, doesn't feel oily or greasy in any way at all. This is pissing me off, but I didn't think it would be covered. It doesn't look dry or cakey anywhere but just the same spot as earlier. I'm really still liking it. I think it looks a little bit dewier now that it's been sitting and mixing with my natural oils, but it's not like the dewiest, you know? Like, I don't touch my face and feel like greasy or anything. I think if you have oily skin, this isn't gonna be like a, you know, a matte foundation that's gonna hold up to your oils, but like if you set it, you should be okay. Like, it's not breaking down at all. Some things I've had break down like a half hour. It doesn't feel like I'm wearing anything, which is something I didn't mention earlier. I love that. It doesn't feel like anything on my skin. It doesn't feel like my skin has anything but moisturizer on it. This could be a go-to for me on days where I want a little more coverage, actually. Like, I think this looks fantastic. So it's been 4 hours since I had this on, and I think it still looks good. Definitely a little bit more shiny, and it seems like it's wearing off around areas that were more red, like in here. I don't know, I think it definitely still looks good. It's definitely not settling anywhere. Like, it's in the dryness right around my mouth, which is what every foundation does, even my favorite. But it's not settling into like lines or anything. I think this would be a good foundation for people who are more mature maybe. It didn't do anything under my eyes, get all crepey or dry. It still feels really nice to the touch. In here it's a little more oily just because even though I have dry skin, I do get oily in the T-zone just like everyone else. It's just not like a long-lasting product, I wouldn't say. I mean, the claims never said it was long-lasting. It said all-day hydration. But the coverage definitely is failing a little, so I don't think this is like, this would be fine I think for like school and maybe work, but by the end of the day you would want to like wash your face and like, you know, if you're gonna go out after work you might want to like redo makeup, because it's definitely not gonna be like your color stay or another version of something like that. It's not gonna be like lasting all day, you know what I mean? I mean, I definitely like it, and this is the kind of thing I'd wear because I don't usually wear foundation for that long. Like, I'll go out to dinner or film, things like that, so I think it looks awesome in the beginning, but like after 4 hours it might start breaking down. I'm sure if I powdered more or used some kind of setting spray it might last a bit longer, but I still think it looks good. Like, it's not like fading in a gross way, it's just fading in like a natural way. So far that's what it looks like at 4 hours approximately. See you later. We're 6 hours in. Me and Noonie are just hanging out, and it's looking a little bit more shiny, but nothing too crazy. It's pretty similar to how it was at 4 hours. I can feel it on my face more though. Like I said before, you couldn't feel like you had any makeup on. I can feel it now because it's getting that like shininess of later in the day. So yeah, it's definitely not long wear, but I do like it, and I'll definitely wear it again as of right now. So I think that might be it. I might try to do a close-up look so you can really see it up close. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I think I'd give this a 4.25 out of 5 because I do really like it. It's not my favorite thing in the world, and I wish it did last a little bit longer, but other than that I really like it so far. The coconut in it does make me a little nervous about breakouts, but other than that, I'm pretty impressed, and I would totally recommend it to most of you. And me and Noonie are gonna say bye. Noonie! Oh, we're gonna say bye, Noonie! And see you in my next video. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe to see more from me and Noonie. And my other ones. Bye.